hard to capture. Extravagant, resurrect the track and it's militant. And I react like a convict and start killing. It's manifesting. The gods work like appliances, dealing in my psyche.
Yo, what's going on everybody? It's your boy Naruto Explain here, bringing you guys another discussion for Boruto Naruto Next Generations, the manga. And for anime only fans, this is the time of the month where a lot of the content that we talk about here on the channel is gonna be spoiler heavy, so I thank you for your support. However, if you're still here, I'm assuming you guys are all caught up with the manga and you do not care about spoilers. And gotta say it louder for the people in the back, this is actual spoilers. This ain't a speculation video. Just gotta say it louder for people in the back that can't tell from the actual title or the thumbnail or the description. So with that being said though, let's jump right into the actual discussion. Big shouts out to Organic Dinosaur for translating the actual chapter in full like I've done in the past. I'm only going to focus on some of the stuff that really interests me. I'm going to wait till I get the full context and actually get the opportunity to actually read the actual manga chapter. And gotta go ahead and point this out. I know somebody's going to say, yo, what happened to the Weekly Shonen Jump preview where it made it sound like Code and Ada and the rest of them are gonna actually show up in the actual village? So like I've said in the past, a lot of this does kind of come down to the Japanese way of using hyperbole and more importantly, the way of hyping things up. In this case, it's more of the former than the latter. So there are some things in this actual chapter that do line up that's in the Weekly Shonen Jump preview for the actual chapter. Essentially, that line about the final battle drawing closer is because Code has a way to actually get to the Hidden Leaf Village at any given point whenever he wants to. So with that being said, gotta thank Organic Dinosaur for taking the time out to fully translate the actual chapter in terms of putting it down in bullet points. Gotta give big respects to that. Now, like I did last month, I'm not gonna go over each and every one of these bullet points because I want to wait until we get the actual chapter. That way I can actually see stuff, because it's one of those things to where with manga as an art form, part of the actual storytelling comes down to the actual expressions and with the way that the paneling's done. And there are a few things that you'll be able to actually grasp once you get extra stuff in there. And because Organic Dinosaur is very detailed, I think the dialogue is on point here, but I want to wait and see what else we got here. So number one, first and foremost, I think we need to talk about the fact that Code's jutsu is being compared to the fourth Hokage's Flying Thunder God, and I love this idea. I love this. I love the fact that you're in a situation where essentially Code's jutsu, the way that it actually works, we've seen it in glimpses to where Code can actually kind of teleport attacks and he can actually change some of his body to actually come through those studs. But I like the fact that more about the actual jutsu is being clarified, and most importantly, I like the fact that we get the revelation that Code at some point was able to put down those markers, those studs, those belted studs. He was able to put them down in each of the 5 great villages. And what's so interesting is that when it comes to Konoha, Code has those belt studs on the actual perimeter. So that means Code could be in any ninja village in that vicinity at any given time. And we know that Naruto, Boruto, and Kawaki are his actual targets. However, what I find interesting about this is that Konoha is completely on edge, and somebody as big brain as Shikamaru has run through the actual scenarios, and Shikamaru is very much worried about this, which is why he would actually compare this to the actual Flying Thunder God. And this is basically the new generation's take on Minato's jutsu. It doesn't work in the same way, but at the same time, it is just as equally dangerous. So I do like what you see right here. Now, another thing that's very fascinating is the fact that the way Code's jutsu works is that Code can not only send his own body through those belted studs, he can also send attacks to those belted studs, but he can also drag people through them. And I think that this is kind of a way of actually setting up a couple of things. I think that Code is gonna use these belted studs as a way to actually avoid a full-on confrontation. I think that whoever he's gonna be targeting, whether it's me Naruto, whether it's me Sasuke, whether it's Boruto, whether it's Kawaki, one of those 4, he's gonna drag them through those belted studs. I also think it's a possibility that Code actually gets a hold of a motto that way. I definitely think that that is something that's kind of being set up right there for Code to get a hold of a motto. So definitely something to keep your eyes on right there. Now, another thing that I find interesting is the fact that, speaking of Amato is kind of being used much in the same way that Kishimoto used Kabuto back in 2011, where a big part of the Naruto fandom at the time, which, you know, if you're part of like Naruto base or if you're part of Naruto forums, you know, some of the bigger theories back in the day were who was in the final coffin, and you're in that situation where back then people like, it could be the real Madara. A lot of people are saying it was the Sage of Six Paths, or it was Izuna Uchiha, or it was Kagami Uchiha. A lot of people are off the mark back then, but the fact is that that was a huge plot device for the actual manga to keep the tension going up and to keep the suspense there. And I feel like Kishimoto is kind of using the same thing here with who's the cyborg that's in Amato's pod right here? Whose body is he actually augmenting? And the thing is that I think that you're in a situation where we have to start asking, how much technology did Amato bring with him? Because he has that huge device that he had on his back, and it's one of those things to where I think we need to ask that question. How much can you actually trust Amato? That's going to be the key thing right there, because we know that Naruto and Shikamaru and the Kages aren't 100% trusting Amato, but this guy, it seems like he's trying to do everything he can to win their favor. But once again, we could potentially have another cyborg that Amato has turned some random person into a being that's actually stronger than Jigen. So in order to combat what you have with Code, Amato would have to build something just as equally as powerful as Code, if not stronger than Code, when Code gets his limiters taken off. So I'm very curious to see who's in that actual pod right there. So that's the interesting thing on that. Now, this other thing, and I want to kind of wrap the video up on this talking point right here, which is the fact that they're definitely teasing the fact that something's going on with Kawaki's future, because in this actual chapter right here, there's a lot of focus put on Kawaki. And when you really look at the last couple of chapters, or really the last 3 chapters, when you include this one, Kawaki's been a huge focus. And you know, I know a lot of people saying like, damn, are we getting close to time skip? I'm gonna repeat what I've been saying for a while. I think they're gonna hold off on this time skip until we get closer to Jump Festa, but there's a potential twist/turn coming for Kawaki at some point, because now we're in a situation where Boruto's giving Kawaki his ninja headband, and he's telling Kawaki like, yo, I'm just gonna loan this to you. I'll start wearing Sasuke's headband from now on. And you have the moments where Naruto, according to the Japanese translation, because Viz Media will change this, but in the Japanese translation, Naruto refers to Kawaki as being like a son to him. And so you're in this situation where they're really doing a lot to try and get you over with Kawaki, and to try and just really establish in your mind that Kawaki belongs in the Uzumaki household and residence. And that's one of the things that Naruto says. It's like, yo, this is your home now. Hinata even stresses that. And they go through different ways for Kawaki to try and wear the actual ninja headband, you know. And as a reminder, you don't have to wear it just on your actual head. It depends on your style. Some people have worn it on their actual legs. Some people want them on their neck. Some people want them on their arms. It just depends on how you actually put it on there. But what I find interesting is the fact that Kawaki talks about how this doesn't feel comfortable to him, and he basically tells Naruto, I've been watching over your village from on top of your Hokage head, the symbolism, because Kawaki and Boruto are fighting on top of the Hokage monument in the future. But essentially Kawaki says, ever since I've shown up here, this village has been in danger, and if Jigen was still alive, Jigen would say I don't belong here. And you see him really struggling at this point, and I really feel like they're kind of setting this up to where there's something that's going to happen with Ada in particular that's going to actually turn Kawaki away from Naruto. I think that that's the thing that's being built up there. It's not going to be Code. Code and Kawaki have way too much history, and it's beef. You know, Code is really going some straight street shit at this point, because it's one of those things where, like, if you've ever had beef, it's one of those things to where you know that when retaliation comes, it ain't just coming for you. It's coming for you and anybody that's standing next to you. So everybody can catch that smoke at any given point. Somebody's liable to light this bitch up like it's something going on in the late 90s, early 2000s. Code got that same energy. It's not just Kawaki he's got the issues with. It's Naruto, it's Boruto, it's Sasuke, it's everybody that was there when Ishiki died, but it's also everybody that's standing right next to Naruto, Sasuke, Boruto, and Kawaki whenever he tries to get over on them. Anybody that's nearby is gonna catch them hands. And I will say this about Code's character, that's the one element of his character that I do like right there. I think that you're in this situation where Kawaki and Ada, there's some type of a breaking point right there. But the big thing on this is that Kawaki did not take his karma seal this chapter, but we see this growing sense of helplessness and frustration out of Kawaki's character to where I think it's only a matter of time. So I mean, overall, I mean, these leaks were pretty damn monumental. Again, I'm gonna wait until we get more. I'm actually gonna go back and actually update my video where I was talking about Ada betraying Code, because there's some information that's in this actual chapter that I do find very fascinating. So I'm gonna update that video, and that will actually probably more than likely be coming out today. So make sure you keep notifications turned on, because there will be a double upload, probably 75% likely there's a double upload. So my question to you guys is, do you think that Code's claw marks, as they're being referred to, do you think that Code's claw mark jutsu is something that rivals the 4th Hokage's Flying Thunder God, or potentially even surpasses it? Let me know down in the comment section below. But as always, guys, if you like anything I had to say, don't forget to comment, rate, subscribe, and share. Thank you so much for watching until the end. Have an awesome day, guys.